it's Christina from Card Making Magic. In the video Spectrum Noir and Pale Skin, we covered using the skin tones set and we coloured in the face. Now if you remember, I told you to print it off in draft and to dot over the black areas with your pen before you start to colour. If you don't, this is what you can get. This is printer ink bleed and it spoils the look of your image. And I also explained to you about refilling the pens with the refills that you can buy from Crafter's Companion. Now if you've refilled the pens, when you're taking the lids off, sometimes if you've overfilled it by accident, it can splash. Now how do I know this? Because I have splashed. But as long as that image fits within a die, that really doesn't matter. And to get the lids off, because they are quite stiff, hold it in one hand and push it off with your thumbs, but don't do it over your work. And there's your lid off. Now you must make sure when you put them back on that you get the click, because if you don't, your pens will dry out. Now as I explained to you, there are 12 sets of 6 pens, and these are the colours that you will get. Now I keep mine bound together with an elastic band so that they're all in the colour sets that I need, and those are more than enough for you to do all your colouring with. Keep them horizontal and get the refills. Now these are the colour blend charts that you can get from the Crafter's Companion website, and these are my reference charts. These are what I refer back to when I want to choose a colour blend. Now the Spectrum Noir introduction video will tell you in more depth a little bit more about the pens. So there we have our baby all coloured in. She's all peaches and cream. It's all nicely dry, and if you're using an uncoated stock, paper cardstock, you will have the bleed on the back. The pens are supposed to do that. That helps you with the blending. Now by using different blends with the different pen sets will give you the colour of hair that you wish for your baby. And along the bottom of each of these baby pictures you will see the numbers of the pens that have been used to create them. So one is a redhead, you have 2 different shades of brown hair, and we have a blonde one on the end. I'll give you time to look at the pictures and the numbers of the pens used so that you can decide which you want to do. Now for my baby, I'm going to do her with brown hair, and I'm using EB1, EB2 and EB7, and the only other thing I'm doing to put the strands in her hair is using a fine liner. Now that can be either a pencil or one of the Wink of Stella pens, or just even a fine liner pen, but you can use anything that you have. It may be Prismacolors or just a pencil or even Sakura. Now if you look at the picture itself, the artist has put in lines to help you, and those are the lines that you're going to follow. Now this baby has very wispy hair, so I'm not just going to block colour the picture. What I'm going to do is put in strokes of the colour, and this is EB1, so it's the lightest colour, and I'm just going to put the strokes into the hair, and I'm going to work all over so that all the area is coloured, just adding the strokes in as I go. So there's the first layer to the hair done, and if you remember yesterday I said don't worry if you go over the lines, because once you start to add in the colour, those lines will blend in with the colour that you're adding. So the next colour that I'm adding is EB2, and I'm just going to put strokes into the hair as I did before. Now where it gathers in the bunches it would be darker, and again I'm just going to follow the strokes into the hair as I did before. Now the crown will be in the light, but the roots are always darker, so I'm just going to stroke in the colour into the roots, and again just follow the lines that the artist has given you as a guideline. And across the top of the head I'm just going to go in with the dark around the edge. Now the next thing you're going to do is soften those lines by going back in with the EB1, and again just stroke the colour in, and that will just take out the sharp edges to the colour that you've just stroked in to the hair. Now if you wanted a blonde baby you could leave it at that and just highlight it with a gold or a yellowy coloured pencil or pen, but I'm going to go in and make it a shade darker, so I'm using EB7, and again I'm just going to stroke in the darker colours, and again it would be darker where the hair gathers in the bunches. And they now need to be softened with EB2. Oops. And I'm not going all the way back up to the crown of the hair. Now the top of the head needs to be blended in with EB1. So again I'm just putting the strokes in, and that just blends out the colour. Now I haven't touched any of the wispy bits just yet. That's just the hair, the base for the hair. So now just to give some definition to the fineness of the baby's hair, I'm going in with a fine liner pen, and all I'm doing is just stroking in the areas. Now all I'm doing with the wispy bits is just adding some colour into the wisps. And there we have a baby with brown hair, wispy strands to the hair, and a little bit more definition. Now where the bunches are fastened together with little bands, I've left those because I'm going to colour those to match the dress. And another little thing that you can do to really bring that face to life is use a white pen and just in the cheeks just dot a little bit of white. So there's one with the white in the cheeks and one without. So there's the baby that we've just done with the hair and the skin. We'll move on to the clothes in the next video. There's the colours that have been used to get brown hair. There's the colours for a different shade of brown hair. There's your blonde baby. and there's a dark-haired baby, and there is a red-headed baby.